What's up everybody, Simon here. This video is going to be a huge warning, an urgent warning to all investors out there. Right now is that time where there is a lot of uncertainty. We've seen it this past week. Stock prices completely dropping. Bitcoin nearly losing pretty much all of its gains going back to July 2021 prices. Cryptocurrency crashing, including my beloved Dogecoin, which I held on with diamond hands all the way up to 75 cents. And now it is back down to nearly 13 cents, which was a huge scare and is a big scare for a lot of people. So crypto's crashing, stocks are crashing. There is a huge labor shortage, a supply chain issue, the Federal Reserve raising rates, hyperinflation, food and gas prices are going up. So this video is going to be a warning to make sure that you're careful with your investments going forward and your finances, because we could be headed towards a potentially Great Depression-like experience coming up. So before I get into this video further, I always remind you guys to please subscribe to the channel. The biggest favor you could do for me is hit the like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm. It actually motivates me as well to keep making these videos. And if you want to do me that favor, go ahead and do it now or later in the video. But let's get into this and let's discuss this warning to all investors, you guys out there, including myself. So I feel like people watch my channel. A lot of them are first-time investors. I feel like personally, maybe a lot of people have gotten into certain cryptocurrencies, made some money there, or even some of the other entrepreneurial things that I have done. I get a lot of people commenting or asking me on my Instagram channel what I would do in terms of moves to make more money. And the great thing about my following is it looks like a lot of people are very happy to better their life and improve their life. However, recently it's been hard to do that. With every single investment out there, including cryptocurrency, it seems like everything has fallen. So if you're one of my viewers or watching YouTube and taking investing advice, now I'm not an investment advisor, so check with yours. But if you've been trying to get into the markets of cryptocurrency or even into the stock market or anything else for that matter, you've seen a great decline. And recently the markets have dipped so far that it threw off a big scare. In fact, usually when markets are down, Bitcoin is not affected, but recently even Bitcoin has been affected. So what I want to do is discuss some potentials that are causing a lot of issues with investments. And I'm going to tell you what I would do in terms of investing going forward in 2022. So first of all, the feds are raising the interest rate. In fact, I recently tried to refinance one of my properties and I missed that wave of low interest rates, which happened about 4 months ago up until about 3 weeks or a month ago. And I was not able to do it in time. At the same time, now the interest rates are back up to what they were about a year and a half ago, around 3.75, 3.8% for a 30-year mortgage. Now that's not bad, but that's not great. Interest rates were at about 2.75, 3% or so. And if you were fortunate enough to get a property at one of those low interest rates, you basically got free money from the feds. They're raising the interest rate because of the hyperinflation coming, or the inflation. They want to curb the inflation. There's a reason why used car prices are gone up nearly to new car price levels. There's a reason why your gas prices have increased, food costs are through the roof, etc. We could go on and on. Now, unless you really invested into real estate in the past, you have possibly seen a dip in your investments if you made those investments about 6 months ago. I personally have invested in the stock market and I've seen my stock portfolio drop by about 25 to 30% from their peaks. I have invested in cryptocurrency and I've saw my cryptocurrency investments from the past 6 months or maybe even 7 months or so drop from nearly $1 million in cryptocurrency investing to about $300,000-$400,000 in cryptocurrency as a total sum of investment. So what we have to do is we have to realize that the market is not only adjusting, but possibly getting worse. Real estate, on the other hand, has risen pretty highly. However, there is a slowdown there as well. So if you're investing in real estate right now, that's probably the safest investment you could make. And if you're investing in the stock market, you can look around at some of the prices that we've been seeing. Netflix is down, and pretty much all of the other S&P 500 companies have been down as well. Now, some of them did climb back up. Tesla had a great quarterly earning report beating forecasts. But even with that said, it's still a difficult time to invest and put money in the stock market if there's growing uncertainty. On top of that, with the recent tension between Russia and Ukraine and the US possibly getting involved with NATO, that's also caused uncertainty in the financial world. When there is a war coming or a potential war coming that could disrupt a lot of things in the world, the stock markets take a hit. When the stock markets typically took a hit in the past, decentralized currencies such as cryptocurrency would remain high or would go up. We did not see that this time around, with Bitcoin nearly hitting a bottom, Ethereum going back down to 2,000 from peaks of 4,400 or 4,500, and we saw everything pretty much collapse all at once. This may not be lasting forever. It may not be a sure thing. However, I do feel like companies are pulling back. There has been some layoffs that have been happening. Even so, there's a labor shortage due to the fact that I feel like companies are just not netting as much revenue as they used to. So the catastrophic drop that happened recently is probably not the very last we've seen of it. In fact, investors are predicting that there could be a potential 11% crash in the S&P 500, even further than where we were with the crash that recently happened. And it all begins with the Federal Reserve again raising their rates. The S&P 500 fell so much, it was down more than 10% for the year, which is saying a lot in regards to S&P 500, which traditionally climbs nearly 8 to 10% every year over year. With the Feds not agreeing on stimuluses and disappointing fourth quarter earnings in the S&P 500 companies because of all these lockdowns and shutdowns, the investors are expecting that a potential crash or another market adjustment is going to happen. Even Morgan Stanley suggested that we hunker down for a few more months because we don't know what exactly is going to happen with all of these variable adjustments happening at the same time. And we are part of a global economy. In the US, the Feds are raising the interest rates. In China, they are lowering the interest rates to boost the economy, but China has been in more of a recession economy than the US, which is seeing a hyperinflation. We've also seen what the heck happened to Peloton, one of my favorite cycling at-home offerings. Their stock has crashed nearly 75%. It started happening when TV show characters started dying on the Peloton bikes in the TV shows themselves.
Peloton is left spinning from yet another PR disaster. This time, a character on the popular Showtime series Billions suffers a heart attack during a Peloton workout. Just last month, on the Sex and the City reboot, Mr. Big died of a heart attack following a vigorous Peloton workout.
And then all of a sudden we found out that the demand is not there for all these bikes like people have thought of. And all of a sudden they halted production. Peloton was a hot item when people were at home, forced to exercise at home, etc. And now the demand has definitely dropped with Peloton seeing the results of that. Now, inflation will start falling or will be halted once the Fed starts hiking the interest rates. So less people will borrow money to buy different things. There'll be less money being lent for businesses to grow. Lack of labor out there. Things are not going to happen as fast as we like as well because companies are not going to be able to employ enough people to sell, etc. So we will see a slowdown, but will this slowdown help us in terms of the stock market or cryptocurrency? I think it will actually hurt the markets because then the quarterly profits are going to continue to plunge. People are not going to have money to invest in cryptocurrencies or anything else. The Fed is not going to keep releasing stimulus packages. People are just going to be in trouble without jobs, without potential unemployment extensions, and a foreclosure that could be looming with all of these people that are in forbearance periods that have ended. So my advice in investing in the stock market, I have a good amount of money in the stock market and I'm going to be very careful. If I'm going to go ahead and invest any money into any potential stock, I have to make sure that that company is going to be profitable in the last quarter of 2021. On top of that, I want to see that the company has it together for growth in the first quarter of 2022. I have failed to do that in the past, taking bets on certain electric car manufacturers. Some I was good at, some I was not. However, at the same time, I really want to make sure I'm potentially putting my money into something like Amazon or Alphabet, which is Google, or maybe even Microsoft. Apple is a great brand, etc. Anything that is a top tier S&P 500 company, which I know will overcome any type of recession or inflation. So that's where I would probably concentrate the bulk of my money. It's a safer bet. However, it's a long-term bet where I won't lose my money. My investments with crypto have stayed the same. However, I am a bit more worried in buying the dips, and I just don't want to tell people to buy the dip because the dips could continue happening. Cryptocurrency is not technically a currency in some regard. It's more of a tangible asset, or an intangible asset, I should say. And it should be treated like a stock. At this point, you can't buy things with stocks. Technically, you have to sell the stock and then purchase something. And that's what really cryptocurrency is trying to break through. It's trying to be a stock, but at the same time, a transactional token. So cryptocurrencies are potentially gonna have some fluctuation, and the fluctuation we've seen has been ridiculous. One day it's up 50%, next day it's down 70%, etc. Things just keep falling on Dogecoin and some of the others. Now, finally, real estate. Would I invest in real estate at this time? Personally, if you live in a hot area like Texas, Florida, San Francisco area, or the Bay Area, yes, you should be able to invest in real estate and feel confident. Homes in the Bay Area are constantly selling. Now, with the interest rate going up, that may slow things down a bit, but not enough to where if you buy an entry-level home, remodel it, flip it, or buy an entry-level home, live in it for 5 years plus, you're going to see return on your investment for sure. The same with South Beach in Miami, Florida, which is booming. Homes are flying off the shelves. There's not enough homes on the market, and they're not lasting that long. In fact, buyers are coming in more aggressive than ever before. So if you live in a hotbed of real estate area, your investments are solid. If you live somewhere where you are seeing homes on the market longer than they used to be, that is a cool off trend, and you may want to stay away in that particular area. So this is a warning to investors. Be careful with your money. We don't know what 2022 will bring. I did a video, Lemons to Lemonade, on my channel, and it warned people as well, saying, hey, we're not out of this pandemic hype. Every few months they're releasing a new variant, and we don't know what it's going to hold in any of these variants or what the government's going to decide to do. Finally, in February, the US government is supposed to rule on cryptocurrency. This could be detrimental to any cryptocurrency portfolio. So if you are investing in cryptocurrency, the Fed's position on what cryptocurrency is could really kill Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all other currencies, and it could wipe off billions of dollars from the market, which have been wiped off already with the recent plunge. So it could push us further down that rabbit hole, which we may not be able to get out of. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please go ahead and like the video if you did, subscribe to the channel, comment below. Are you worried as an investor? Are your finances going to be fluctuating? Do you think it's going to continue going up, or are we in panic mode and should really be careful, especially in the next quarter? Thanks for watching. I'll catch you here in the next video.